So let's begin with the paper AAA. What do you think paper AAA is? What do you think paper AAA is? Some students claim that it is difficult, but I don't say it. It's not difficult, it's challenging. Very simple point. Now, before going to start with this AAA syllabus and all that study stuff, I would like to make it clear that paper AAA has a strong connectivity with paper AA, which you call it traditionally F8. But it's not only F8 AA, it's more than F8, because in paper F8 AA, you had got the accounting issues applicable on F3, FA level. But when you are attempting paper AAA, so there is the paper which is called SBR, Strategic Business Reporting, SBR, right? So this is also the uh, prerequisite for paper AAA. Why? Because AAA means Advanced Audit and Assurance, and audit is of financial statements. We all know that audit is of financial statements. So at paper AAA, the financial statements would be at SBR level. What do you mean by this thing? You will be having the scenarios. As an auditor, you have to perform your requirements, and the accounting issues are purely related with the accounting standards applicable at paper SBR. So paper SBR is one of the prerequisite for paper AAA, because you have attempted the SBR. I'm well assuming that, and now you are practically eligible for paper AAA, right? So let's start with the paper AAA further syllabus. Now the syllabus of paper AAA is split into different parts, different categories, you can say. Part A is the regulatory environment. Now, as we all know that audit is of financial statements, right? Basically, audit is of financial statements. Audit is of financial statements for shareholders assurance. So that means you are dealing in a public role. That means at the end of the audit, as we all know that at the end of the audit, auditor express the opinion. Auditor express the opinion on the financial statements, right? Auditor express the opinion on the financial statements. So on the opinion of the financial statements of the auditor, the decision making of the users depend. For example, if auditor concludes that financial statements are true and fair, I am the investor, I'm gonna invest it. For example, if auditor claims that financial statements are not true and fair, so I'll not be investing. So the decision of the shareholders depends on the opinion of the auditor. So that means auditor is dealing in a public role. Auditors have the public duty to do so. And whenever you are dealing in any of the profession, be it a medical profession, be it an audit profession, be it a lawyer profession, it is very much important that the practitioner is bounded by the regulations. So in area A, you will be learning about the regulatory environment. That is, what are the regulatory framework applicable on the auditor, right? That's a very important point. Area B, professional and ethical consideration. Area C, quality management. Now, auditor is having the firm. Auditor is having the firm, right? We all know most of you people would be the working professionals. Now, ethics and quality management at firm level. Quality management at firm level. Now, what do you exactly mean by this thing? See that in your real practical life, you would be facing many situations where your ethical stance is at stake. Now, let's say, for example, you people are the auditor and you should be independent. That's it. You should be independent. But one thing, let's say, for example, you are auditing the company in which your family member has an investment. Your family member, your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, your spouse, your children is having the investment in the client company to be audited. And you are going for the audit of that company, and the financial statements are not true and fair. So for a limited time period, there is a thought that you could, that comes into your mind, that if you will express the opinion that financial statement not true and fair, the credibility, the shareholders, the wealth of your brother will go down. So that's the ethical stance. So this is a very important area that as an auditor, I'm not considering it as an AAA candidate for ACCA exam only. I'm just concentrating on the practical implications. Now, let's say, for example, this is the ethical consideration. So, what you should do? You should simply ask the company that you could not be the part of the audit firm on that particular client. So, teaching ethics is very much important when there is a public duty, right? So, that's a very important point. Next one, quality management. That means quality at firm level. So quality at firm level means that you should be having the good staff, competent staff, ethical consideration. You are supposed to review your working papers. So that's all become the quality. So quality is a very important significant area in for your paper. But regarding this, we need to go through the detailed concepts, right? Next area is planning and conducting the audit. Please note that I am highlighting planning and conducting the audit of historical financial information. Planning and conducting. Planning means risk assessment. As you all know that auditor, that's a very simple point. I want to write one thing. Regarding the audit, that don't trust. Don't trust, cast doubt, and then verify. Now, let me give you the very simple example. Let's suppose that I have purchased, this wristwatch. And I am claiming that this is the watch I have purchased worth $500. Let's say, for example. So don't trust, cast doubt. You should think that it quite may be possible that I'm telling a lie. This may not be worth of $500. So you should need to verify it with the evidence. So you have to actively act upon the evidence. You have to do some procedures, and then you will be able to verify it. Simply, you will see this wristwatch and you will ask for the invoice. So that's called the conduction of the audit. Basically, you need to cast doubt. You need to cast out that there may be something wrong. For example, right? So conducting an audit means that you need to perform TOC and substantive. Now, do not embarrass me that you do not know about the TOC and substantive. You have covered in your paper AA. And definitely here at AAA level, that TOC and substantive would be of SBR level. You need to conduct the audit procedures on the historical financial information, and the historical financial information, the accounting standards would be at SBR level, right? Let's move on. Area E, that's completion and reporting. Completion means this is the review stage, and reporting means it is an audit report. Reporting means it is a what? It's an audit report. Now, you already know about the audit cycle from your paper AA, that when auditor finishes with the substantive procedures, auditor has to conduct the review phase. Auditor has to conduct the review. That means the review means you are reviewing all the evidences obtained, you are reviewing all the working papers, and then you will be expressing the audit report or you will be expressing the audit opinion in the audit report. So basically, apparently, whatever the syllabus we have discussed up till now, you have already covered in your paper AA. But the point is that it has been upgraded with SBR level knowledge. It has been upgraded with much more professional knowledge. It has been upgraded with a different marking scheme and a different marking style. It has been upgraded for the different type of questions as well, right? So lot of things had been updated in paper AAA if you compare with paper AA. Now, the area F is other assignments. What is other assignment? I call this thing other assignment as the non-audit assignments. See that one activity of your firm is the audit. One activity of the firm of chartered accountant is the audit. Let's say, for example, and another activity is the non-audit engagement. Now, what is non-audit engagement? Non-audit assignments means that it is other than audit. Let's say, for example, I'm not writing it. Let's say, for example, that I'm the company, and I want to acquire another company as a subsidiary, but I don't know how to evaluate that subsidiary. So I may contact your firm, that firm, ABC firm, I want to acquire the subsidiary. Can you please perform a due diligence on my behalf? Due diligence means the review of the target company before acquisition and merger. So it's called the non-audit assignment, right? So basically it is called non-audit assignments. This is basically non-audit assignments. And in the non-audit assignments, there are due diligence. Due diligence, I have just explained that due diligence means um, performing the analysis on the target company before acquisition or merger. So it's a non-audit assignment. Another one is that, now let's say, for example, I'm the company, there is a fraud in my company, or anything went unusual, unexpected, and I have got a solid confirmation that there is a fraud, but I'm unable to identify and detect the fraud. So I may contact your firm so that you will be performing forensic audit. It's a very interesting area, forensic audit. Another one, is that, now let's say for example, I am the company and I need loan. So I went to the bank and I asked for the loan. Now the bank has carrying the equal right to ask me what I will be doing with this $50 million. So I am claiming to the bank that I will invest this amount in the textile company or wherever. So bank is asking me for the prospective financial statements. I mean forecasted financial statements. So I have prepared. Now let's say for example this is my forecasted financial statements, right? Let's say for example this is my forecasted financial statements. So I'm providing it to the bank, but the bank want assurance on this, that whether I have used the appropriate discount factor, the appropriate assumptions I have used, and that's called prospective financial information. So I will be contacting your firm for this activity. So that's called prospective financial information. There is one more thing, that social and environmental audit. Now, nowadays you see that global warming, sustainability, environmental factors are becoming a very hot topic in every qualification, almost in the practical life as well. So this is one of the things that there is a requirement for the assurance on the environmental activities. So this area is the other assignment. It is carrying the equal importance. I don't know, and I cannot say that which topic would be examining in the other assignments, but it will be examined, right? So this is all your syllabus. Now, area G, current issues and development. I cannot, because you people are appearing for this paper in June 2026 and there is no current issue, I can assure you right now. It quite may be possible that let me give you a very simple example. If you go a few attempts back, this social and environmental audit was the hot topic. At that time, it was a current issue. Now, it's a normal topic. So it quite may be possible that there is something, I'm just giving the example from my understanding, that there is a very hype of artificial intelligence. And what is the impact of artificial intelligence on the company, and how will you conduct an audit on this thing? It quite may be possible that this would become the current issue and development, and you are supposed to answer the question. So I'm just giving an example based on my understanding, and it quite may be possible that current issues and development, the topic would be released in the month of May, for example. So I cannot say, not even I can predict, not even any of the tutor can predict this thing, right? So for the current issue, you have to wait till the last breath of your preparation. Let's move on. Professional skills. I will be covering it in the next slide. Next slide. Area H, employability and technological skills. So basically, employability and technological skills, that's not the study based topic. It is actually the exam window, that how the exam window will look like, what are the options, what are the tools. That's a very simple point, right? So basically this is your paper syllabus AAA. I've just given you the introduction in a very short and concise manner so that you will be able to make up your mind that what you are exactly going to practice, what you are exactly going to learn, right? Now let's move.